Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to start my show. This is Hot Topics 2, due to the fact that I've had other Hot Topic shows. Well, I've had one prior to this. But there's so much going on in the news currently, right now, at the present time. You know what I'm saying? With this man trying to spilling all his guts out, you understand me, on Trump, which is, we never get tired of talking about him. But I'm not going to say much about him. I'm going to get right to these sexual predators and stuff, you know what I mean? These people are sex predators, and they in high places and having money. And that's the shameful thing about it. Sex predators in high places and have money. And been getting away with this stuff for years. They've been actually getting away with it, you know what I mean? They've been getting away with it so long that the people don't even treat it like it's wrong. You know what I'm saying? They slap him on the wrist, like R. Kelly, for instance. He got busted in 2008. You know what I mean, about this young minor, and then he peed on him and had a sex tape out, the whole thing. He beat that, you understand, because they tried to say that wasn't him. But they should have been watching him closer and cracked down on him sooner, because they let these other women have all this pain and suffering for 10 years later. If that's 2008, this 2019, that's 11 years later. And look at all the damage he done to these women in 11 years. You know what I'm saying? When he was steady doing this, right? And then you got this Robert Kraft, you understand me, the man that runs the team. You know, he owns a football team. And here he is caught in a brothel. You know, he's caught in a steam room, whatever you want to call it. But it's a place with prostitutes. He got a bunch of prostitutes, and it's a low-budget place. A man that's a billionaire could go anywhere and have sex with any woman. You know what I mean? He's been in a high-class hotel. You understand me? Or he could have went to the finest brothel. You know what I mean? Where the riches, like Heidi Klum, back in the day. You understand me? Was had the A-list movie stars going to the brothel. They still got some of them. They still got A-list brothels where millionaires go, call girls go, and they get a high-class woman. No, that man didn't want that. That man wanted the first thing away from the wife he got. He got a classy wife. He didn't want no classy woman. He wanted a tramp. He wanted the next best thing the next thing lower than what he was messing with was to go around on 6th Street or go out on the street and pick a crackhead up. You know, he was a step from that when he went and picked what he picked and went where he went. So he wanted to be belittled, you understand me, and dominated, and he wanted that whole, you know what I mean, that whole scenario that these rich people want to be sacrificed. They want to be whooped and spanked and dominated, you understand me, and feel little, because they know they cheat and scrape their way to the top and misuse a lot of women, you understand me, in a way that they did. You understand me? And this Me Too movement is bringing it all out of them. So a lot of them that was doing that to women ain't doing it no more. So they running to prostitutes somewhere they can legally, you understand me, do things with women and pay them money. See? And then women let them play their role. Women let them play their role. They go to those women and they play their role. They play the role as whatever they want to be. They can make the girl act like she's a little girl, put on a school dress and do all that. See, they get these fantasies out through these prostitutes. See, that's what they do. You understand me? And it's not right, but that's just the way it is. You know what I mean? That's the way, man's instinct. The average man has some fantasies and has all that stuff in him. It's just the way it is. It's more common than it's not common. It's just these other people got caught. You understand me? So they put it out there. You understand me? And the Me Too movement got them hot. So now they got to go more so to a prostitute where it's legal and they don't get no trouble. It's legal as far as this consent. It may not be legal, but it's two consenting adults doing something that's legal in that manner. It's not legal to act itself because prostitution is illegal, but two consenting adults doing what they're doing, and he's paying them, and they doing the act for the money. So it's like perverted activity is maybe more expensive, but who cares when people got money, right? That's what they should have done. You're going to go to a regular cheap brothel, you know what I'm saying, because you liked it, that type of treatment. You understand? Going to that place because you wouldn't be recognized and you could be dealing with those trampy women. You understand me? those trampy prostitutes that's halfway washing their ass and turning dates. Like, I don't know what. You could have went to the Mustang Ranch or somewhere like that. But the point of it is that this world is going down in a handbasket. You know what I'm saying? And then these people, then you got these other people like R. Kelly that's got these women, you understand me, trying to have a cult with them and got these young women. And that's all he did all his life was have these young women that, you know what I mean? He tried to groom and make them to his slaves. You know what I mean? That was his fantasy, but he did it with real women that he was really had a part in his life. So it was not a fantasy, it was a reality. He could have went and paid a prostitute and got that out the way, but no, he wanted to have his own kingdom and be his own king. He wanted to do it like that. You understand me? And that ain't right. You know what I'm saying? They want to try to be special and be somebody important doing some shit that ain't legal. You know what I mean? You ain't know how Hugh Hefner. Hugh Hefner had them women running around there. He was treating them like ladies. He was getting respect, and they were being respected. Where did all this go? This stuff is gone now. You know, you got all this pervertedness. It's went to the extreme now. This abuse went to the extreme. Here's another, you understand me, person that was very important. That he was the head of a football team, or he had a basketball team or something. But he was the head man, and he got caught whooping his wife out in the street. He's whooping his wife out in the street in public. Huh? Now, there's no need to do that. There's no need to be whooping your wife, beating her up out in the street, and somebody had it on camera and filmed it and sold that to TMZ. But you don't do that, and you're a person in a special position, you know, in a high-class position, and you're going to do that abuse thing. Only thing going to save you is that you got money. So you may get a fine. But the point of it is, what kind of example is this for the younger people coming up, seeing all this type of stuff in the news? You know what I mean? What kind of example is this for the young people? You know, with all this stuff coming up, no respect. You know. Then I'm on the bus today, on my way over here a few minutes ago. This guy's pushing women, making them get out the way, and trying to jump on some people talking about you're a gangster and talking crazy to them, and trying to start a fight on the bus and everything. Just crazy, just really pushing women. He could go to jail. And the driver, I don't know where the driver's mind was at. He should have got him, checked the man, and put him off the bus. That's what drivers are for. The drivers ain't paying no attention. You know, he could have killed somebody on the bus. He could have did anything because he was really out of line, very much out of line. And the driver wasn't doing nothing. You understand? You know, this world, I don't know what it's coming to, but people need to take care of business. You know, those that are not, you know what I mean, they got jobs and got seniority and in their position, they supposed to, that's what that driver's job was, to get people off the bus that ain't no good and to do what they supposed to do. And that woman went up there and told him that. And he did not listen to that woman. That dude ended up getting off the bus after she was calling the police. She was calling the police, and he got off at one of them stops. But it just so happened that he could have hurt some people. Because there were some timid, innocent tourist people there, a lot of young women and things. And this man did not have no business being able to act like that. You know, display that type of misconduct on the bus. It's a lot of nuts in the city, like somebody was telling me. A lot of these people have mental problems. They don't lock them up. They keep them on the street, but they need to lock them up and put them in some facility. If they don't have no mental hospital like they used to have, Napa and all that, they need to put them somewhere in general hospital. But they do not need to be out in public because they start trouble and they do crazy things. You know what I mean? Because they're not responsible. So they need to be locked up and permanently locked up and taking medication. Make sure they take their medication. Because these people be wild. You know what I'm saying? It's like this. Excuse me. I'm the kind of person, I play pass a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been around, I'm a giant, I've been in the game. Like I said, I'll say it again, I've been in the game. That's why I understand all this stuff about these tricks. You know what I'm saying? The things they do. I don't care how much money you got. It's still tricking. I don't care what you do. If you paying for sex, whatever that, you still tricking. It's still tricking. And all these billionaires and all that have it, that really have it, they turning dates, man. They're still turning dates. They providing them prostitutes, they providing them people with money. And it's okay. They're not making the world better. They definitely ain't making the world better doing what they're doing, you understand? They're making it worse because the way things are is that the young people don't have no example. You know, they don't see nobody, you know, leading them the right way. You know, when they see, and the women don't see no pimps or nothing, prostitutes, so they doing their own thing. They ain't got nobody telling them what to do or how it's supposed to really be done. There's no leadership. You know what I mean? Because the chain was broken in the 80s when the pimps got on crack. And the dope dealers was the young people, so it just got all out of whack. But I'm saying, but now, in this time and age, it should get back together. You think some of these older people would try to straighten their hand up and get out there and represent, but they're not doing it. It's not enough of them. I mean, if they got clean and sober, right, and was walking the walk, they ain't got to dress up or nothing. Just be clean and be an example, somebody they can talk to that could tell them, you know, how things go, how things supposed to be. And if they're doing wrong, they're doing wrong. Don't sit up there and listen to them because they got a pocket full of money. You let them get away with stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's because 90% of you is still in your disease. So if you still in your disease and he got drugs in his pocket, he got money in his pocket, he think he the shit, and you sitting up there letting him think he the shit, and he's wrong as all outdoors because you lost all respect. He lost all respect and all principles about you. Well, then that's why it's like it is, and it ain't gonna get no better. You understand? And you ain't no better for letting them get away with it because you're not being no example. So you can't blame the youngster for being the way he is. I blame the adults that are around him for whatever reason they not giving him no teaching. He's not learning. Because if the youngsters be around me to come to my office, they see an example. They see there's a real live one still doing it. You understand? There's still somebody out there representing like it was represented in the 60s and the 70s. You understand? And that's what they need to see. They need to see more of it. But if they don't see more of it, at least when they be around me, they're going to see it and they're going to hear it. And I'm going to tell them how it's really supposed to go and how the rules of the game and how things is. You understand me? Because they get it all mixed up. And I'll let them know in a minute, you understand me? If they're selling drugs and then they're trying to, you know, get money out of a woman and do all these different things, they don't need to do that. If you're going to be a drug dealer, be a sincere drug dealer and deal your drugs and give women money to help them out with their children and whatever it is. Be that type of person. And as far as pimping go, that's dead because they're going to give you so much time. And the rules are so changed on that. And these cats are faking so hard that they don't need to be doing that. You understand me? That is something I don't even talk to. I tell them in a minute, go back to school, man. Go take a trade up, man. You know, I tell them when they're young enough and they mixed up in which way they want to go. I tell them that. I don't be no motherfucker. Excuse my language. I don't be no person to buy drugs from them and then tell them. You understand me? And don't say nothing because you pacifying them because you want the drugs. You want to deal on drugs or something. No. See, that ain't even no good. But first of all, you in your disease, so you can't help yourself. So you definitely can't be an example and help anybody else. So that's why, you know, I give them brothers a pass. The ones that's torping on their ass is what I say. They need to first go to recovery and get their own stuff together before they can give anybody else advice or anything. You know what I'm saying? But they get around there and try to talk that talk, and I don't even pay them no mind. I don't even listen to them, you understand? When they tell me something, I'll say, let me hear this, tell me this and tell me that. No, I don't tell them nothing, you understand me? Because game is not to be given away, it's to be sold. You understand me? If I ain't selling game and I give it to somebody, I'm going to give it to somebody that's going to do something with it. They're going to appreciate it like I did when it was passed on to me. When I was a youngster, you understand me, sitting in Foster's back in the late 60s. I was sitting in Foster's, you understand me, where the players came up in Cadillacs and cars and had women and stuff, and they come in there to have their coffee. And I was sitting there, you understand me, and listen real intently. Intensely, I would be listening to them cats and seeing what they was doing because I know that's where I wanted to be. I wanted to be like the one that was winning. I didn't want to be like them cats losing and faking and carrying on. I didn't want to be that. I wanted to be a giant from the beginning because I knew what it was all about. Them was the cats riding in Cadillacs and having the women and having the French poodles and wearing suits and wearing their hair laid, you understand me? If they didn't have the hair, they had a slick hat on their head. You understand me? I mean, they had it together. You understand me? And in my mind, that's the way it's going to be. When I wake up in the morning and get dressed, that's how I'm looking at it. I'm looking at how things was. I don't look at how things is now. Because now, if you went out there now and tried to look at the way the world is, how negative and how people are, no grace, no players' grace, no game as far as, you talking to somebody and they can kick it back at you and you can talk about some things, you know what I mean, the way they used to be. No, that ain't cool. You know what I mean? And I want to give a shout out, you understand me? My condolences go to my friend of mine, you understand me, that passed away a couple of weeks ago. And I'm speaking on that because he was somebody I could talk to that had game, and it was a gentleman, and that was on top of his game. You understand me? Despite if he did get high or whatever he did it with class and grace, and he didn't let nobody know, and he didn't bring that around, and he didn't trip. He stayed on top of his game. He did everything like a real true player. You understand me? Like people did it in the 60s and 70s. You know what I mean? And that's Jason. That's a partner of mine, Jason. You understand me? And I was close to him. I used to be around him with Smiley. It was a dude named Smiley. You understand me? He passed away. R.I.P. to Smiley. R.I.P. to Jason. And I want to wish them the best up there in heaven. You understand me? Because I know that's where they at. You understand me? Players heaven. And I want them to realize that they lived their best life. They did it the way they wanted to do it. And Jason was almost 80. He was 79, going on 80. And Smiley was 83 or 80, something like that. He was in his 80s, though. And I'm saying, and he got high. He didn't change his way. But one thing about it I can speak on Smiley is this. Smiley stayed ultra sharp. He stayed sharp every day. He went up there and went to work. He danced on Saks Fifth Avenue and got his money. And then he played the balls, you know what I mean? He did his thing with him. You know, he spent money on him and did his thing. But one thing I can say about him, he was retired from the game. He was not on active duty. He gave the game up as far as when it come to prostitutes. He wasn't trying to pimp no more. That wasn't his thing. He was just enjoying his later years. And he was making his money singing and dancing. And he was famous in the city. He was an icon. And the things he did when it came to drugs and girls, which he did a little too much of it. But that was the way he wanted to do it, you know. And he lived his life the way he wanted to, and he lived it to the fullest because that was the way he did it, you know. He didn't have a second chance at a first-class life because he lived the life he wanted to live. See, it's me, JoJo, CB, you know, GQ. There's a whole lot of us, you understand me, that's had a second chance at a first-class life. Richard Bill, you know, call Money Bill. All of us have had a second chance at a first-class life. So what we're doing, we're not drinking, we're not getting high, we're staying drug-free, and we're staying on the right path of getting money. We're getting money, you understand me? We're staying financially secure. And, you know, we'll be an example for the young people that are around us, you understand me, that see us. They look up to us, you understand what I'm saying, because they have a lot of respect for us. You know, if there was more brothers, you understand me, that could reach out by an example. You know, you're good at going up there talking to somebody, you understand me, and you broke and you ain't got no money and you raggedy, you understand, and you drinking and you're out of line, you ain't respectful, then people don't have respect for you. But when you be a group of people that have respect and carrying yourself properly, you know what I mean, then that's the way, that's what you're supposed to see. That's how it was when we was coming up. That's what messed things up. We need to get back to that type of situation where we can actually, you understand me, be an example for these young people. But it takes a lot of people. It takes a village, actually. It takes a village of players that been there, that done that come out the other side and got a second chance at a first-class life, so you know both sides of it. You know how the game was, and it ain't like that no more. And you know now how things are now. You know, and right now it's hip to be a square. Being a square is what time it is. You understand? Now it's time to be a square because you've been slick. You know what that's about. Then you can be the best square you want to be because you've been there. If you ain't never been anything other than a square, well, then you're just a square and you don't know, and you're going to feel insecure because you're not really knowledgeable about certain things. But when you knowledgeable about certain things like that part of life, and then you end up doing square things in a good life, you know what I mean, like going to bed early, you know what I mean, eating good, not taking no drugs, not drinking, you understand me, going to bed early, waking up early, You know what I mean? Like I go to bed at 8 or 9 o'clock. I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, get dressed, look good, you understand me? Read books and do what I got to do. Get myself fortified and energetic for the face the day, you understand me, with the greatest of ease. You understand? This is the things that I do. And what you need to realize, you understand me, that it took me years to get to this state of mind that I'm at. That's why I can speak on happiness, because now I'm at a state in my mind where I'm happy. But it took me a lot to get to that point. See, nothing comes overnight. And I don't care what you have. If you haven't had misfortune, if you hadn't seen the dark side of something, then you ain't going to really know the light. And you got to know the dark for the light so you can appreciate the happiness that you get when it's there. And you can have a little of something and appreciate it than having a lot of something. You know what I'm saying? Like I got hundreds of suits, but if I had only 10, I still would feel just as good, because the point is how you wear what you got and how you appreciate it and keep it clean and stay in order, you understand me, and do what you got to do. It's just like now I'm happy with no car and hundreds of suits than I was back then when I might have had 10 suits because I was wearing a lot of casual things and I had 5 cars. You see what I'm saying? It's like, it's how you feel from where you've been to where you're at now. So you had an experience and you're doing what you're doing for yourself. You're not doing it for nobody else. See, when you're doing things for yourself, it's just like I said, I look at the news, I see what's going on, all these current events that's happening, you understand me? And what made me develop the fact that it's hot topics is simply because these people are doing wrong things and they have money. They're no leader. They're not setting no example. You understand me? They're not no role model. They're not a role model. You understand me? They're not role models. A lot of these people have money and they're on top of their game and they're rich and they should be a role model. But the money does not determine if you're a role model or not. You take Kanye West. He's not a role model because he's doing crazy things and he ain't in order. He goes here, he goes there. He does crazy things like, you know what I'm saying? So, he's not a role model. You dig? And then you got Kaepernick. He's a role model. Kaepernick is a role model, what he did. He stepped up and made people kneel and respect him and discipline himself, did that, and despite of getting kicked off the team and all that he did, he knew at the end he was going to win. But he had principles, and he stuck to his principles, and he stuck to his guns. See, that's what you got to do. You got to do things, you understand me, and stick to your guns and be a winner at what you believe in. But you got to know what you're doing. You understand me? You got to follow somebody or have some role model, somebody that's doing something, that's been somewhere and know what they're doing. So when you see them and you follow their footsteps, you following steps that's going to take you to the success. You follow the steps that's going to take you to success. And when you do that, you can't do nothing but win. You get around winners, you don't get around losers, you understand? When you hear news of different things on TV, you look at that and you say them people is tripping. Not because they got money, you got people idolize, they got money. Michael Jackson has been dead 5 years. These people pull out things on him now, trying to get money and coming out talking about he did this, he did that. Whatever he did, he got away with it, you understand me? And he was discreet, and he didn't tarnish his image. He kept his image live and out there to be an Elvis Presley type dude. You know what I mean? Which was one of the top entertainers in the world. And there's nobody that ever can touch him. Nobody. Nobody can touch him. There'll never be another Michael Jackson. The way they grooming these kids, the way these people are coming out, I don't see it. You know what I mean? They're coming out winning with this rap. They don't require that much to win. Chris Brown ain't even dancing like he used to. Chris Brown used to dance, and he was on his way to being a Michael Jackson. He didn't slow down. He's getting older too, but he don't dance no more. Usher was doing the footwork. When Michael left, looked like the people that did the footwork, that did all that, they don't have to drive no more. They don't do it. You know, and that's what made Michael who he was. But Michael was just being Michael. That's the way he wanted to do it. That's the way he did it. It wasn't no ifs and buts about it, you understand me? He didn't do it no other way. He did it the right way, you understand? And that's what I say. When you doing things that you love doing, and you learn about the things that you're interested in that's positive. When you learn about the things that you're interested in that's positive, then you will win at it because you dig deep enough. You might not be interested in enough to win at it. But when you start investigating, you start doing research, you might be interested a little bit. You start doing research, searching into it, like fashion. Like I love fashion. Look into fashion, see the designers, people that's doing all the different things. You know, the only reason why I'm not really into being a fashion designer because all the people that was doing that were gay, and they were like, you know, it was like they had an interest in fabrics and different things. All I'm interested in is wearing the clothes. You understand me? As far as making clothes, that ain't none of me. I just like to wear them, you understand? And modeling, I did a little modeling, and I can still do some modeling now, you understand me? But the point I'm saying is, you got to dig deep into what you want to win at. When you want to win at something in life, you got to draw interest in it. And when you draw interest, you dig deeper and deeper, and you'll love it more and more, and then that's when you'll be successful at it, because you will know what you're doing. You know what I mean? And know what you like and be good at it. Otherwise, you know, they have the art school of arts where you can do just about be anything. You know what I mean? You can do a lot of things that's dealing with the arts. But what a person has when they're young, they have opportunity to deal with those situations. When you're young, what I mean by young, when you're 16, 17, 18, 20, maybe 25, when you get to being 40 years old and like that, you should have had a career. If you didn't have a career and you got to be 40 years old, you know, hey, it's time to have another career. It's time to have a second chance at a first-class life like we did. We were already in the game and did that, and then we flipped over because we knew what was really real then. But when you come out the joint, or you've been missing, or you've been doing something that really wasn't a future in, it's like you wasted those years because they didn't give you experience and they didn't give you knowledge. You understand? Because if you was a pickpocket or something that had a career to it, then you was doing something that was cool. And it was, you know, it was honorable because, hey, pickpocket, you know, at that time was acceptable and honorable. Pickpocket, pimp, con man, you know. You know, all these things were along the line of occupations in the fast life. Now, all that don't exist. It don't exist because the modern days, they got cameras, they got different things, they got things now. So that's why I said all those things are not existing no more, non-existent. You better get a job, because when I got them in 2 years in the joint back in the 70s, now you get 40 years. See, it's a difference. You might as well spend 4 years and go to college and learn something, because that's the way it is. But let me get back to this. The show is Hot Topics. I did a little bit of talked about a little different things, just to give you a brief understanding about what's going on in America. But what's happening, I'm going to close my show, you understand me? And let everybody know, you young people, you understand me, need to see some older people that's got sense. You got preachers. You got people that go to church. You got people in recovery. You have all these different people that you can listen to. Don't look at the people that's out there doing negative things, stealing, robbing, buying dope from you. Don't look at them. Those are the ones that's lost in the system. Those are the ones you want to stay away from. But the ones that are doing good things, there's a lot of brothers doing positive things that you go up and talk to them, and they'll tell you something real slick at this time what you should be doing. You understand? They're not going to tell you not to go out there and pimp or go out there and steal, go out there and pick a pocket, because those things are not happening no more. Those things are back in all time. Your time now is to do something legit, and you got opportunity to go to school and be somebody in life. Be somebody that counts in life, that your mama will be proud of. You understand? You can do that. It's all up to you. Believe me. The opportunity is out there. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to close my show and let everybody know, you understand me, that this is an International Reds Fashion Experience. And along with fashion, I'll just be an example by the fashion, by showing you fashion and letting you know how fashion is. Because if you didn't see the fashion, you wouldn't know the fashion. So that's what I do. I show it, you understand me, and let you know it. And that was the show. It was Hot Topics 2. So we're going to let this go, and I'm going to close my show, ladies and gentlemen.